It's your girl Danielle coming with some positive vibes. So listen, y'all. It's been on my heart. I want to help heal some of this church pain, right? Because I run into people that don't want to go to church anymore because of bad experiences that they've had in church, right? So I kind of want to touch bases on that. So I do have a question though, and this is for all my people that say, um, I can do all things through Christ, right? So that statement is absolutely true. I believe you can do all things through Christ. I believe that too, right? But let me ask y'all, do you think that Christ just strengthens one version of you? If you can do all things through Christ, do you think you can do that with just one version of you? Do you think there's only one version of you? Has anybody thought about that? Because look, I can sit here and say, I can run a marathon. I'm going to go run a marathon, right? I can go and I'll probably get maybe a block. I could probably run a block. And then the rest of it, in this version of me, I'm only going to be walking, probably, right? Because this version of me is not going to make it through that marathon. But if I actually trained, right? If I actually trained, that is the version of me that Christ would be strengthening. And then I can go run that marathon, right? I have to train. I have to put that in my mind to go and train to be in shape to run that marathon. So it wouldn't be this version of me that's running the marathon. It would be a better version of me because I put in the work to make a better version of me, right? Because throughout life, there's always, we're always reinventing ourselves. Always reinventing ourselves, y'all. The version of me now is not the version of me 10 years ago or 20 years ago or in high school. It's a different version of me, but it's still me. And Christ is still strengthening me. So just because you did something 5 or 10 years ago and you made a mistake 5 or 10 years ago, that does not mean that you're not a better version of you today and that you won't be a better version of you tomorrow. But you have to work at that version. You have to do the work, right? You can't just say, oh, well, I'm a better version of me because I woke up. No, you have to do the work. There's some people that go and they talk to a psychologist, right? And you think because the psychologist went to school and they got the degree that they're going to be able to fix you mentally, right? You believe that. But what happened to experience is the best teacher, right? So you mean to tell me, let me give you an example. If you can't swim and you go take a swim class, but the lifeguard is teaching you how to swim from the side, reading you a book, does that truly make them qualified? And they never get in the water because they actually didn't learn how to swim, right? That doesn't make them qualified. But if there's someone around you that actually took the time and learned how to swim, wouldn't that be the person that you want to teach you how to swim? Blessings, Metalik. That's my buddy, y'all. He be keeping me grounded, y'all. We be in a whole bunch of spiritual conversations. So that's my question. Like, just because somebody has a degree, that psychologist that you're going to see that you think is going to fix you mentally might be fighting their own demons and they're better at covering them up. They might have addictions and insecurities that they're fighting. And now you done went in there thinking they can fix you when really you could have went and talked to your friend or your neighbor or somebody who's accomplished this inner peace, right? Because they went through it, because they had to overcome it themselves. They didn't have to read a book. They did the work. They did the work, y'all. You can't discredit somebody just because they didn't go get a degree in it and they didn't read the book and now they sitting there reading the book to you and telling you how you can get your inner peace and they don't have inner peace. That's not the person that you want to talk to about it. If I'm going to go train for a marathon, I'm not going to go sit over there and ask a sumo wrestler how to get in shape for a marathon. I'm not. I'm going to go ask somebody who's actually ran a marathon. Maybe even the person that won it. They don't have to have a degree in that to tell me how they overcame themselves and made a better version of them, y'all. They don't have to do that. They don't have to have a degree. And we're not always going to get it right. And just because you made a mistake 5, 10 years ago, it doesn't mean that you are still that version from 5 or 10 years ago. That does not mean that. Y'all have to pay attention to your thoughts. Me, I honestly operate in the boldness of the Most High. I don't operate in fear. God did not give us the spirit of fear, and we are in His image. We are in His image, which means we have born authority because He made us in His image, y'all. So our words have power. Our words have power. Our words have power. If you believe you can speak things into existence, then you clearly understand that our words have power, right? Because I hear people say that all the time. Don't speak that into an existence. You're going to speak that into an existence. Do you speak that into an existence? Well, guess what? Your power, the word, your words, the power that you have in your words is determined by you. It's determined by what you believe. If you don't believe it, then why would God grant it? If you ask God for, let's say you ask God for a new car, but you don't believe He's going to give you a new car, then that's you giving up your authority because you don't even believe that God will do it. So why would He do it? You don't believe He's going to do it. But if you speak that into existence, God's going to give me a new car, and you believe it, you end up with that blessing of that new car or whatever it is that you speak. Me, I said, God has a home for me, right? And because I believed that, because I knew God would do that for me, there was nothing that could stand in my way and tell me that I don't have a home, that I don't have a house, that I can't buy a house. There's a whole lot of people that said that. I'm sitting in a house. God did that because I believed Him, because I knew that He would do it, y'all. Your power in your words is determined by you and what you believe. If you are sitting somewhere and you're believing, I'm a failure, I'm never going to get this right, you just spoke that into existence. That's where your thought process is going. So that's where your life is going to be headed. Because we have that authority. You don't have to run around here and be scared of the unclean spirits. God made them too. And they don't have any authority in your life except for the authority you give them. If you believe that they have that power in your life to make your life a living hell, that's exactly what's going to happen because you gave them that power. Their words is not hold more authority than yours. We are made in His image. So if we're made in his image, we have authority. We have given birth, given authority. And an unclean spirit's words is not more powerful than mine. Nothing happens without God knowing about it. And just because you choose to be negative, you choose to be an unclean spirit, you're not about to scare me. I know you got to answer to God. I know you got to answer to God. Nothing happens without God knowing about it. Nothing, y'all. Nothing happens. You have to speak it into existence. If you're thinking negative, you are giving up your power. If you are saying negative things and you believe that to be true, you just gave it authority to be true. You just gave it authority to be true. There was a time in my life, y'all, that I would schedule overtime to hit a check so that I could make sure that I pay my car payment and not be broke that check, right? There was a time. There was a time I would schedule overtime. There was a time that I would make sure I get up and go to work, right? To do this overtime so that this money could hit my check when I needed it to hit my check, right? But during those times, there was also times that I said, I'm too tired to get up an extra 30 minutes earlier to pray and to meditate, right? There was Sundays that I was like, I'm too tired to get up and go to church or to get up and hear the word, right? There was Sundays that I did that. There was times that I did that. But I made that time to get that overtime on my check, right? So at that point, who was I putting first? Who was I putting first, y'all? Was I putting God first? Because I wouldn't get up an extra 30 minutes. I couldn't find that time to get up an extra 30 minutes to pray because I was so tired. But I sure made sure I got my butt out of bed on Monday and went to work and that I did that overtime. I sure made sure I did that. So who was I putting first? Was God first in my life? No, he wasn't. He wasn't, y'all. And guess what? That almighty dollar, it didn't protect me from getting sick. So some of us is so materialistic that we make sure we get up and go to work, but that dollar's not gonna stop. It's not gonna protect you from a heart attack. There's still millionaires that are having heart attacks, y'all. And we just need to know that our thoughts is what controls our destiny. The power in our words come from our beliefs. So we got to get it together. And you can choose whatever side you want to. I'm not here to tell you what side to choose. I'm not here at all. Just know that if you choose the wrong side and you choose not to be, you either for God or you're not. Now, if you're not for God, I'm not scared of you. And I respect your decision, but you're gonna respect mine too. And the power in your word is not gonna supersede the power in my word. Understand that. So I do not live in fear, y'all. And you need to understand that we are walking in his image. We do not need to live in fear. Spiritual warfare is all here. All here. Unclean spirits do not have the authority to do anything in our lives that you do not allow. You do not allow, and you do not have the right to pass judgment on somebody. Everybody's mental health is different. Our levels of understanding is different. Our thought process, some people have strong mental thought process, some people don't. You don't get to judge them on that. You don't get to judge them on that. God is God by himself. He don't need your help. He's going to judge accordingly. You don't have the right to judge an unclean spirit because guess what? God made the light and the dark. The light and the dark. God made the light and the dark. You don't get to tell God that his creation is not worthy of you. You don't get to tell him that he was wrong in how he made you either. You don't get to tell him that, y'all. But what you do need to understand is that you don't give up your power to all this negative thought process, because that's how the enemy conquers you. And if you can sit and recognize an attack, some people will tell me like, "Oh man, the devil's trying to get me. He's trying to do this. He's trying to attack me that way." So if you can recognize the attack, you've already won. You've already won. You just have to rebuke it. And you need to pray and meditate so you can get the strength to keep overcoming that attack. Because if God is for you, who'll be against you? If you can recognize the attack, you've already won. You've already won. There's power in your words. You just have to decide how much power and authority you believe is in your words. So I just wanted to get that out because I know a lot of people says, I can do all things through Christ, and you absolutely can. But I want you to understand that there's different versions of you. You can't do all things through Christ in one version. You can't. And you have to do the work to do a better version of you, because you're the only one that can do it. I can't make a better version of you. Your mama can't make a better version of you. Your kids can't make a better version of you. They can encourage you to be a better version of you, but the only person that can make that decision is you. It's you. If you want to be a better you, then do it. Speak the positivity into your life and do it. That's all you got to do. You can make a better version of you. There's nothing that's stopping you except for you. Nothing else can stop you. Nothing else. God's not going to stop you from being a better version of you. You're already the better version of you. You just don't know it. He gave us that birthright. When he gave us his breath, we were the best version of us. We just don't know it. That's what I'm telling you. You have to pay attention to your thoughts. I have been attacked sometimes by darker women. There is this stereotype that light skinned people have more privilege than dark skinned people. Have y'all ever wondered where that came from? Where did that seed come from? Where did that seed of self hate come from? If we're all made in the image of the Most High, where did that seed of self hate come from? Mind, body, and soul. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. So where did that seed come from? You have to sit and think about it. Society, if we're not of this world, then why are you worried about worldly things? Why? Why do you need recognition in a world that you're not even of? Y'all have to think about these things. You have to watch your thought process. You have to understand the importance that you are. If you are walking in your Father's image, then nothing can stop you. So I'm gonna get off of here, y'all. I just want to put that food for thought out there because I think that people don't understand the power that they truly hold in their words. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And we're made in his image. So if you say, "Let me be successful," you're going to be successful if you believe that. If you believe I'm ugly and I'm sick, you're going to end up ugly and sick because that's what you believe, because that's what you're speaking. That's what your thought process is. Watch your thoughts, y'all. Watch your thoughts. If you want to be a better you, you have to change internally. You can't change on the outside and not change the inside and think you're going to get a better version of you. That's not how it works. All right. So we're going to work on our thought process. I'm going to keep getting on here and we're going to keep mind, body, and soul. We're going to keep doing self care. Y'all don't forget that tomorrow I'm going to do some skincare. Y'all see, I need to do it on myself. I've been half doing my skincare stuff, but that's why I'm gonna get on live and do it tomorrow because I just been kind of occupied with reading and stuff. I actually do put God first now, so I'm seeing the glory of His works in my life, y'all, and that's why I'm on here encouraging you guys to do it because you get an inner peace, and once you get that inner peace, everything else falls into place. Everything else falls into place, y'all. Okay? So one step at a time. One step at a time. If you say it, believe it. Your words have power.